Hello and welcome to my December newsletter video update. I can't believe the year is just about over, and what a year it has been in the markets. It has not been easy for new traders, and that is why I discuss in my book Smart Trading Plans that your first year of trading is your apprenticeship year and your goal is to survive, and I will talk more about that shortly. I have lots to share with you in this video update, including an update on some of my trades that I shared with you in my last newsletter video. If you missed my last newsletter video, you can view it from my website or my YouTube channel. Before I get started, I just need to remind you that I'm not licensed to provide any personal investment advice. This video and all the charts and trades I share are for illustrative purposes only, and I'm just showing you how I view the current market and sharing this with you. So let's head on over to Metastock and see what's been happening in the market. On the screen here is a chart of the S&P 500. This is a weekly chart, and as you can see, the S&P 500 has still been in that long-term uptrend, which it established back in 2009, and it's held in there. It has got steeper along the way, and it has broken the steeper uptrend line, but it's still managing to hold its longer term uptrend line. If we go to the daily chart, you can see that even though it's holding its longer term uptrend line, most of this year it has been congesting. I mean, it built up some resistance at this point here, and it's really been churning sideways. Then it took a big dip all the way back down to its uptrend line, and for medium to short term traders, this is a good opportunity to short sell. And then it bounced around and double bottomed, and it's managed to get all the way back up near its resistance area again, and it's built up some support here too. So the same support where it had resistance from the past, it's getting some support. So it is churning sideways right now, and it's these choppy markets where it's just churning sideways that are the more difficult periods to trade. You can get a nice windfall move in here with short selling, but then it chops around and you get stopped out, then you go long, then you get chopped around and stopped out, and then it's bouncing around. So it is a difficult period, and the same thing has happened with the Aussie market, and the Aussie market has also presented some difficult periods to trade as well. Let me show you a chart now of the ASX 200. So here's the weekly chart of the ASX 200. It has also been in a nice little uptrend channel, but we managed to break our uptrend channel in August, and we broke down all the way back down to the 5,000 level, and we've been churning around ever since. And if you go over to the daily chart, you can see it churning around. You can see where it hit the 6,000 level. You can see where it fell back and it broke its uptrend line, and then it fell down to the 5,000 level, dipped below it, but managed to stay back above it. And right now, it's just touching it again, and it's churning around. We could end up churning around for another couple of months, or who knows how long. We could have a break of the 5,000 level and we could start a downtrend. We could have a break of the 5,400-ish level around here, and the market could become healthy again. I simply have no idea what the market's going to do, and all I can do is trade my systems. So I have two trading systems that I trade. I have my long-term weekly system, which focuses on trading long only, and that's all it's been doing this year. And this system has a wider stop loss, so it can withstand the market moving around. Where the daily system is my swing trading system, and it's the system that has a shorter hold time. It averages about 25 trade days, and it trades both long and short in direction. And that's the system where I will change direction as the market changes. So to give you an idea of how I've actually been trading and swapping directions, I want to show you just what's been happening in the market and how it has been a difficult time if you are a new trader. So on the screen here is that ASX 200 chart in a daily format. Now, the beginning of this year, I had a beautiful long run in the market with my daily swings trading system, and I was net long, and I remained long for quite a period of time until I started to get stopped out of things and I started to get some short trades coming in, and I was mostly short in June. But then the market had a bounce off its trend line, well, what appeared to be a bounce, which it then failed, and ended up being long in the market again. Then the market turned over and I ended up being net short through this period here. And I had a beautiful run down, but then the market bounced and I got stopped out and I was long again. Then it fell back and I was mostly short again. Then it bounced and I was mostly long again. Right now I have a mix of some long and shorts in my portfolio with my daily system. So this is a good visual representation to show you how I've been trading over the past year, by putting in green when I've mostly been long in the market with my daily system and red when I've mostly been short. And you can see how I have switched around from the long side and the short side. And this is all determined by what's coming up in my trading system scans and taking the best choices on the day. Because I have both a long and a short trading system, and I run them each day in the market, and I will have a look at what comes up. So if I'm getting more signals coming up in my short system and I see something I like, I will take something out of my short scan. So on the 9th of December, this is how many shares that came up in the ASX 300 my short scan, and I did select a short trade on that day, which I will share with you shortly. And then on the long side of the market, there was a few shares there as well, but one stood out for me on the short side, and that was the one that I opened. But as you know, as well as my daily system, I trade my weekly system. And last newsletter video I shared one of my weekly trades with you, and that trade is still open and running. So even though the market's been churning around, I will still have my long-term weekly portfolio running in the background, and I will have a selection of say 5 or 6 trades that I have opened up over a period of time, and it's all about just letting them run. And if I get a pyramid signal, adding to the trade. So let me just give you an update on the weekly system trade I shared in my last newsletter video with you. So here's the share that I entered into on the 31st of July at $6.22. As you can see, it's now in that established uptrend, and it's moved higher. It is having a pullback right now to its uptrend line, but I'm not concerned. And if it holds its uptrend line and holds this support level, then that's a good sign. And I have my stop loss just sitting under that support level. So if it breaks that support level, I'm happy to get out because I know the uptrend line has broken, the support line has broken, and to me that's showing signs that this share is becoming unhealthy and I don't want to be in it anymore. So let's check out some of my daily system trades, and I'll give you an update on them as well. So I'll close this down. Now last newsletter I shared this beautiful short trade I'd had in the market and I'd sold out of, but since then I've had some long signals come in. And I've re-entered this trade on the long side. So I've gone from being short to being long. I'll just delete my trailing stop losses off the chart so you can see my new trade a lot better. So I entered back into this share, this time on the long side, and that trade is still open right now. My trailing stop loss hasn't been hit, so that trade's still open, and we'll see what pans out. So I opened that trade on the 19th of October, and it's still running right now with the daily system. Now let's head on over because I shared another long trade with you in my last newsletter video, but that one hasn't fared so well. So I want to show you that you can enter a trade with very similar signals, but the result doesn't mean it's going to be the same. So here's a share I entered into on the 4th of November. This share had a downtrend, like the other one. I could have short sold it. It then churned sideways. It then broke through resistance. It also broke up, got support, and then it bounced. So it was looking like a great setup for an entry for a new long trade on this one. So I simply entered into it. It came up in my scan and it met all my trading rules. But unfortunately it was the last high that share made. It collapsed, broke through support, and my stop loss was hit shortly after. So I was taken out of that trade all of 9 days later. But I am pleased I exited because the share has since fallen all the way down to 12.5 cents. So it was a very short trade of all of 9 days. It was a negative 24% return on the total trade size and negative 120% return on the margin. Now they sound like they're very large figures, but the reality is I only lost my 1R risk on that trade. With every trade that I open it based on risking 1% of my capital. So I'm prepared to lose 1% of my capital on any one trade. So if you have, say, a $50,000 trading account, that would be $500. If you have a $20,000 trading account, that would be $200. So I always know up front how much I'm prepared to lose on a trade. and I position size my trades accordingly. So if you're prepared to lose $500 on a trade, then the difference between my entry price and my buy price divided into $500 tells me how many shares I can own, and that's how many I buy. And I know that if that share falls to my stop level of 16 cents, that's how much money I'm going to lose. We have no control over what the stock market's going to do. The only control we have is how we manage our risk in the market, and that's through having exit strategies and strong money management rules for position sizing, portfolio heat, and pyramiding. And I cover all these things in my Smart Trading Plan and System Development course because they are so very important to your trading. And just by sharing these two trades with you, you can see how I've still got one open and running, and my winning trades will always be held for longer than my losing trades. I will always cut my losing trades short, and they will always have that shorter hold time. But as long as I get into some good winning trades, it will make up for my losing trades. So let's move on, and I want to share with you another trade that I have had open in the market. And the reason I want to share this one is because this one has been a windfall profit for me. I haven't had a share double in size for I don't know how long. So when you get onto trades like this and you're in a position that doubles in size, you need to have a strategy to know what you're going to do. For me, that's to sell half and leave free carry run in the trade. So this was a share that had been churning sideways, developed a bit of a downswing, built up support, and when it broke through that downward trending line, came up in my system scan, big white candle, strong volume, met my trading rules, I simply entered in. Moved up beautifully and so did my stop loss, got all the way to 10 cents, rejected it. I opened up the chart that day, as I do when I look at all my open positions, and it was one of those trades where I went, wow, oh my goodness, what's just happened? This looks fantastic. I looked at my entry price and I could see that my money had doubled in this trade. So I knew what action I needed to take because I have it in my trading plan, so I sold half and I was happy to leave the other half run. I also knew that 10 cents could be a key resistance area to this share, but if it broke through 10 cents, I knew that would be a good sign, so I didn't want to completely exit and take all my profits out, because if I had of, I would have missed the rest of the run. And right now, I still have the rest of that trade running. And I've got my stop loss just sitting below that 10 cent level. So if it continues to fail to hold it, then I'm happy to get out of it. But if it does move higher, then I'm happy to stick with it. Because this is one of the things, we have no idea what the stock market is going to do. What I know right now is if my stop loss gets hit, I will make a 2.5 R multiple win. So I've made more than 2.5 my risk size on this trade, and I've made 103% return on the total trade size. So I always look at my open trades based on where their stop losses are sitting right now, because that's the reality of my trading, and that's what's going to happen if my stop gets hit. So as well as having a few long trades open, which I've shared two that I still have open with you right now, I also have a new short trade that I opened up only this week. This share had been in a beautiful uptrend, broke its uptrend line, managed to get a little bit above it, but then it just started to churn sideways and went into what looks like a stage 3 top. And if we go to the weekly chart, you can see how this share has been a beautiful share in the past with that 30-week moving average rising. It had a fallback back here and built up what looked like to be a stage 3 top back here, but then it managed to break out and start a new uptrend. Now that moving average line is rolling back over, but this time it's broken through support. And when it came up in my daily system on that day, it met all my trading rules, had broken through support, nice black candle, good volume. I simply entered into it with a short trade. I have no idea what's going to pan out after this. All I know is I have my stop loss in place, which is sitting above here, and if it continues to move my way, my stop loss will move accordingly. If it doesn't and it fails, I know how much I'm going to lose on that trade, and that's because I've set the trade up accordingly already, and I have my stop loss set online with my broker. So as you can see right now, I've got some long trades, I've also got some short trades open, and I'm not sure if the ASX 200 is going to bounce again off the 5,000 or break it, but either way, I'm just trading the signals that my trading system is giving to me. And as you've seen from what I've shared in this video, I've gone from long to short quite a bit over the last 6 months. So I'm not going to say moves like this in the market are easy. They're not. When you first start trading, there's some big lessons that you're going to learn, and you need to make sure you learn and you update your trading plan accordingly. I've been trading my system since 2002, and I have the confidence and understand my statistics, and I will trade through all market moves, but this is because I know my trading strategies very well. We also have Christmas coming up, and volumes can drop right off during this time, and some people take a break from the markets too. I always keep my weekly systems running, but if I do decide to take a break, it will be my daily trading system that I will stop trading. There's also a new year approaching, and a new year is always a good time to be learning. So if charting's new to you and you want to learn more about it, I do have a free 10-day e-course on my website. You can check it out by going to my website, and I have information and a link on my homepage, or just putting /charting101 and it will take you to the sign up page so that you can simply enter in your name and your email address, and then you will receive a new video each day for the next 10 days. But you can progress ahead because I do have a link under each video to move forward. And feel free to pass this on to any family or friends that you have that might be interested as well. And don't forget, if you don't have that trading plan, you need to put that time and effort in to write it. So my book Smart Trading Plans is also available, which is a step-by-step guide to developing a trading plan. And make sure you have a good look around my website, and if you want to learn more about my trading strategies, then check out my Smart Trading Plan and System Development online course, as this is the course that I share all my trading strategies and money management and trading tools, routine and everything with you. If you don't receive my monthly newsletter, then make sure you sign up to my free special report on my website, or the free e-course that I have on charting, because you will go into my database and then you will get notified when I release my new monthly newsletter video. I look forward to sharing more with you in 2016, and I will continue to keep you updated in my next newsletter video on how those trades I've shared with you in this video progress. I would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My contact details are in the Contact Us area of my website. Goodbye for now.